Hello there, I'm Mr. Sullivan, and this is Honors World Studies. Welcome. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the course, but before I talk about the course that your son or daughter is going to take, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. The part of the reason that I'm showing this, my notes to you here, is because I had to show you something besides my big ugly mug. So I'm in the corner. I figured I'd let my notes be the main part of the screen. I want to tell you kind of where I came from, what my philosophy is, how we're going to teach, and just kind of leave it at that. I'll try to keep this as short and painless as possible. First, for me, this is my 24th year of teaching. I've been teaching since I was 22 years old, graduated from college. This is my 17th year at Ames High. I have been teaching Honors World Studies. I think this is the 7th or 8th year that we've had Honors World Studies. So I've been through this curriculum a few times, and so have a pretty good feel for things. My wife also teaches here at the high school, and I have two children, one 11-year-old fifth grader at Fellows and a 7-year-old first grader at Fellows. Of course, the fifth grader is feeling very full of himself right now because he is the cock of the walk over at Fellows, at the top of the food chain, shall we say. First grader has the world by the tail because he's in first grade and no longer in kindergarten, so he's not at the bottom of the food chain anymore. So wanted to also talk a little bit about some of the other things that I do. I also am the head varsity girls basketball coach, and I help with varsity football. I'm also very involved with my son's youth sports. I'm the department liaison here at the high school. I am an infinite campus trainer for all of the teachers here in our building. And so I'm pretty active in a lot of different ways here at Ames High, and really enjoy the experience. Really, at Ames High, I only have one piece of advice for parents, and it's a very simple piece of advice for your son or daughter, and that's to get involved. I told all of your sons and daughters that during orientation. I told them that on the first day. Get involved in something here at Ames High. There are so many neat things, whether you want to watch movies on Fridays after school, or you want to knit or quilt or crochet, you want to be an athlete, you want to be in drama, music. There's fabulous opportunities here at Ames High to be involved in so many different things. If you want to feed the world, that's also an option. So there's lots of great opportunities and great options for your son or daughter here at Ames High. Some other things I want to talk about our course a little bit. One thing that's kind of interesting, my wife has senior level chemistry and I have freshmen. So one of the things that's really tricky is our year. For her, she has seniors. They've been there, they've done that. They're at the top of the food chain. They're excited about their senior year. They're excited about chemistry, and they're excited about learning. And they come in and they are fired up. So my wife's year starts up here, and she always gets off to a great start because she has seniors. I have freshmen. Freshmen are just excited. They don't know what they're excited about. They're just excited about being in high school and no longer being in junior high. And so for me, it takes a little bit longer for me to get the freshmen kind of whipped into shape, shall we say. So it's always kind of interesting because for my wife with seniors, the nice thing about having seniors is at the start of the year is they're ready to go, they're fired up. But by the time prom hits, seniors are done. There's nothing left in the tank. They no longer can function. They no longer operate. So my wife starts the year out here and finishes here. Whereas the freshmen, by the time we get to the end of their freshman year, they're almost normal human beings again. And so we kind of see this growth pattern. And so for my wife and I, we always kind of joke that Christmas is kind of when we're both feeling good about how our classes are going, that winter break when it hits. And then the rest of the year, my year just gets better. Her year usually deteriorates rather quickly once prom hits. A little bit about the course. In World Studies, we generally look at 4 units per semester. First semester, we're going to start off with a prehistory unit, which we'll be done with on Friday this week. We'll have a little quiz on Friday. And then next week, we're going to start looking at our China unit. And we're going to be spending quite a bit of time on China. First of all, it's got a tremendous history, but also there's just a lot of things that we're doing for the first time. As the year goes on, we'll move faster through units because the units just kind of propel themselves. So the first semester we'll do China, Japan and Korea, Africa and India, and then second semester we'll get into Russia, we'll get into Europe, we'll get into Latin America, and we'll finish with the Middle East. In each of these units, we look at basically 5 areas. We look at history, culture, geography, people, and religion. And we kind of look at the different contexts that those things and how they interplay and how they all involve. One of the things I want to talk about with Honors World Studies, one of the challenges for kids is the volume of homework. It is not ridiculously hard homework, but there is a lot of it, especially for kids that are not used to it. Typically, it's always interesting because I hear freshmen early in the year talk about how hard Honors World Studies is and how hard it is. And then when they're sophomores, they talk about how easy Honors World Studies is and how hard APUSH is. And then when they're seniors, they talk about how easy APUSH was and how. So I see this pattern go on every year. But for your freshmen, it's really a challenge because they're going to have a lot more homework than their peers. They're going to have a lot more homework with their friends. Most of these kids embrace that. They like that fact of Honors World Studies. They like that challenge. So, and it's curriculum that they're relatively interested in. So that certainly is beneficial. One of the questions that comes up a lot is what's the difference between Honors World Studies and regular World Studies? And I just have a 3-part answer: faster, deeper, more. We go faster through the stuff that we go through. We go deeper into the stuff we go through, and we go over more stuff than regular World Studies. There's a lot more expectations outside of the classroom, and there's a lot more things that we expect the students to do independently and on their own. Again, I want to say welcome to Ames High School. I think your son or daughter is going to have a great career here at Ames High over the course of 4 years. Most of the kids who graduate from Ames High have nothing but positive things to say about their experience, and I know that your son or daughter will certainly be one of those. Welcome to Ames High if this is your first time. Again, and if it's your 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th time, you have plenty of war stories to talk about, and certainly we hope that they continue to be good stories. Thank you.